Hey everyone, my name is Sean Arnold and welcome to another episode of Yugioh Online Ranked Duels. In the first episode of the week of MADOLCHE, the last one which I put up, I played up against Namek, who is the #1 ranked duelist, and it didn't really go so well for me in regards to using my MADOLCHE'S. Now whenever I lose against someone that I feel like, oh man, I really feel like I could have won that match, it just makes me want to play more. So today's going to be a little bit different from what you normally see on my channel for Yu-Gi-Oh videos. Today I'm just going to show off a couple of highlights of the things which I've learned with this deck, playing against duelists who aren't as I don't know, as experienced with the game as say someone such as myself or Namek 1979, and then we'll end this duel off with a fairly okay game-ish. So today, first of all, I'm playing against Ian Arity, and he is playing a Spellbook Tower deck. Now, anytime I see someone that's new to the game run a deck with more than 40 cards, I always kind of worry about that. It makes me think, okay, this person's kind of new, and it doesn't mean I'm going to win automatically, but it's pretty much a free game. So I want to show just off how strong an opening hand with MADOLCHE'S can really be. First of all, I'm just having to read a Spellbook Star Hall and Grand Spellbook Tower just to remind myself of what they do. Tower gives Spellbooks the opportunity to draw more cards, and I think it protects itself if it has Spellbook counters on the field. And Tower Hall, I can't even remember what Tower Hall does, but I don't think I have to really worry about it too much. But MADOLCHE'S can really open well. He has some amazing first turn plays, and they're very early game heavy. And one of their best cards is MADOLCHE Angeli. Angeli is so amazing. She is the searcher for the deck. You contribute her, and then you can special summon any MADOLCHE monster from your deck to the field. And the one which you typically want to go for is MADOLCHE Hootcake. And this is how the combo starts. So you go for MADOLCHE Hootcake. Hootcake has an effect where you can banish one monster in your graveyard, and when you do, you can special summon a MADOLCHE monster from your deck. So that gives you a +1. We've gone from having 6 cards now to gonna have 7 cards in a minute. Let's banish Angeli. And let's get out MADOLCHE missing Gelato. Gelato is okay, or Gelato is okay, but he needs to have a beast face up on the field to activate his effect. And when he is special summoned, you can add one MADOLCHE spell or spell card or trap card from your deck to your hand. I think there are trap cards, but I don't use them. And I think I might also get rid of one copy of Chateau, because Chateau is, I don't know, I think Chateau's okay, but I just don't find it to be as useful as it can be necessarily. Now that I've gained +1 in advantage, I'm now going to play Instant Fusion. Instant Fusion is very good for a MADOLCHE build, I find, because it allows you to instantly get a level 3 or a level 4 monster. Level 3 being Fusionist. I chose Fusionist because not only is he a level 3, but he's a beast level 3, which allows Mr. Gelato to activate his effect. And there's also Carbonara Warrior, who is a warrior type monster, which when XE summoned, when special summoned, can Gelato, who is also a warrior, for warrior type rank 4s, such as Blade Armor Ninja. Two level 3s now combined to make Levear the Sea Dragon. Levear the Sea Dragon is a really good rank 3 monster, and what it does is you can attach one XE from it to special summon one level 4 or lower monster from your banish pile. So let's get rid of Hootcake. Always want to dump the MADOLCHE monsters into your grave because they're fuel for other cards later on, such as Chateau and Tiramisu. And now we're going to special summon Angeli. It's a shame that we can't use Angeli's effect more than once, but that would be way too broken, because then I could start the loop again and get more monsters to the field. But that's fine. As long as we got these 2 level 4s, we can now go into MADOLCHE Queen Tiramisu. And MADOLCHE turns, oh, let me wait for this to happen. I hate that that's so loud. MADOLCHE decks are very early game heavy, and if their combos are stopped, they do sometimes struggle to recover. But if you let them get away with it, then they can do some really amazing things, such as this. Queen Tiramisu can attach one card, then shuffle 2 cards in its grave, send them back to the deck, and then it can shuffle 2 cards on the field, on the opponent's side of the field, back into their deck, and it doesn't target at all. which is really good for getting rid of spellbook cards because they don't like to be destroyed. They protect themselves quite well. So let's get rid of those 2 cards there, and now the field is wide open for a direct attack. What I should have really done at this point was play MADOLCHE Ticket before using Tiramisu's effect, because then I would have got a free special summon to the field and been able to do some more damage. But learning from my mistakes there, I don't have to do it next time. So Levere and Queen Tiramisu are going to attack directly, do a bit of damage, and then yeah, that's going to be 4k to my opponent. There are ways to OTK your opponent. If you can get out another rank 4 such as Blade Armor Ninja, you can actually OTK your opponent, but I'm not going to be able to do that now. So what should happen any second now at this point is what we're going to do is, oh yes, and another thing which I like to do is I also like to overlay into this monster. Because Levere allows you to special summon cards from for the banish pile, a lot of people try to get rid of Levere in their turn as soon as possible because they don't want you gaining more advantage. So I like to go into Down the Magician quite often. So what we've done here is we skipped ahead to the last turn of the duel to kind of get to the end of this. I think I accidentally turned Tiramisu to defense there. I shouldn't have done that, but now we've got Angeli here again. Angeli can just do the combo one more time. As you can see, Down the Magician is also still on the field. And yeah, we could just go through this cycle again and again and again. So Hoot Kick will come out, and all the shenanigans will happen once more. MADOLCHE'S are a lot of fun, and it can be they can take a little bit of a minute to learn all the combos. What I really want to do is, oh yeah, and he rage quit there. Well, what I want to do is I want to kind of find out what else they can do and how to make it work without sacrificing those good strong opening terms. So now we're playing up against Sportster and his Elemental Hero deck. He already set up this field in his first turn with different dimensional capsule and Elemental Hero the Shining. He's kind of lose a lot of his cards in his first turn, so this first turn for me is going to be a-okay. And I think in this video we try something a little bit different here. We can do the MADOLCHE combo, and I think, yeah, we probably will, yeah. So MADOLCHE does her combo, and as you guys know how it works, we fast forwarded into the situation after the combo is done. And now we're going to play Instant Fusion again. Instant Fusion for Fusionist. Well, this becomes a lot better in the current TCG environment because you have much better targets for Instant Fusion, such as Elder Entity Norden. Whilst Elder Entity Norden is a fairy and not a warrior type level 4, it can make level 4 rank 4s on its own, so it does make the deck a little bit more powerful. But MADOLCHE'S also have more powerful rank 4 monsters. I think they have a monster called Chocolat or a la mode or something like that. Sorry, there was a fly there. And yeah, so it does become a little bit better. So fast forwarding, Sportster surrendered, but yeah, Instant Fusion becomes a lot more viable. Now here's something else which I can do now that I'm playing against Mr. Violation. That's one hell of a name, dude. That's a statement and a half, man. Call the police. Now this is what happens when you don't open with Angeli. Typically you can try to go for a different kind of combo. Another really good card is MADOLCHE Magaline. She doesn't start the combo off to get your XC monsters out or anything, but she does search out any MADOLCHE card from your deck to your hand. MADOLCHE monster, that is, not any MADOLCHE card. I've also got monsters in here such as TT Striker. TT Striker is an Earth Warrior type level 2 tuner that can special summon itself to the field. And the reason why I have this in my deck is so I can synchro summon into monsters such as Naturia Barkion. The Naturia synchro monsters are really good, and Barkion is so good that he can actually just pretty much stop all trap cards on the field. He does have to banish 2 cards from your graveyard to do so, so right now I can only stop 2 trap cards, but that should be more than enough here. Attack my Mr. Violation's face down card and he gets into Marshmallow, but that's a-okay. Now if I can keep Barkion around, this should be really helpful. So here we are into the final turn of the duel. Mr. Violation managed to set up his entire field. Barkion is going to stop all those trap cards from happening, and Tiramisu will just feed the graveyard, although she does shuffle some cards in the graveyard back. But that's okay because her effect is going to get rid of 2 cards on the field, and if he tries to chain, then Barkion can stop it unless it's, say, a counter trap. Now, yep, the ticket's going to activate. Let's special summon the monsters to the field. Typically, I go for Mr. Gelato because he's the strongest, but really whatever works at that point in time. It's really just to kind of kill off your opponent. So that's really the highlights of all the less experienced duelists I played against. Now I'm playing against Betinho PG. I played against this man a couple of times. His name really does look familiar to me, although he does have a variety of different nexes. So we're gonna get into the whole match of this one and not just do highlights. But hopefully that was a good little bit of experiment, and it was my way of showing off what else MADOLCHE'S can and cannot do. Or just a few of the things that they can and cannot do. So first and again, I haven't got Angeli in my hand, so I need to set up the next turn. So I'm going to play Magaline with Chateau in the field so that she gets a nice little bit for the tap boost, and search out Angeli to set up for the next turn. And now I'm going to end my turn. Not the strongest of turn 1 plays I could have, but MADOLCHE'S do often plus on their first turns. They're really good in terms of generating advantage in the early game when you have more resources. What I really wish was that they had more, or that I had more monsters in my deck which can set up on the first turn play, especially rank 4 monsters which really kind of hinder your opponent. So maybe I'll add things in such as Giant Hand, Trap Chicks Rafelsia. I don't think that's in this game. That's in it's only in the current game, but I don't think Rafelsia is in Legacy of the Duelist, so no, not that. Maybe there are some kind of other monsters as well. Okay, so Betinho plays the Monarch Stormforth and Pyramid of Wonders. I'm gonna guess, seeing as he's got Vampire Kamula and his avatar, he's playing a vampire deck. There's an old school card, Vampire Lord. Vampire Lord at one point in time was a really strong card because it was really hard to get rid of in a day and age where you could only get rid of your opponent's monsters either by battle or destruction effects. And Vampire Lord, when he is destroyed by an effect, he special summons himself from the graveyard later on. Also, when he attacks and does damage to you, he's request 1 card to be sent from your deck to the graveyard, and you can choose spell, monster, or trap. I'm fine with this. I can just ditch Upstart Goblin. That's really advantageous for me rather than drawing into it. It just makes my deck smaller, so I'm fine with it whatsoever. Vampire Lord's effect isn't really as good as it used to be. In the past, man, everyone used to just run staple cards. You used to call that spells a lot so that people wouldn't play that. Or maybe traps so that people wouldn't have key cards such as Sakaretsu Armor and Mirror Force to stop big plays. Right, summoning off Angeli that I got in my last turn. Let's activate effect. It looks like I was able to get away with it. I bet Angeli is really hard to use often with the current format, with there being so many Solemn Strikes. Solemn Strike being a solemn style card that negates monster effects as well as special summons. Alright, off into Hoop Cake. Banish 1 card. I'm trying to decide what would be better. In this situation, neither card is really worse than the other. It's really just about who do I want to be able to special summon. I'm going to choose Magaline, because if I for some reason don't get to summon Levere, then I'd rather Magaline would be stuck in the banish pile as opposed to Angeli, because Angeli is better to be recycled into the deck and therefore drawn out again for more plays. Going to Messenger Gelato, and Messenger Gelato will search out a card. I think I already lost Chateau, so the only card I'm going to have in my deck is Ticket. Or maybe I haven't. Yep, just Ticket. I think by this time I've actually taken out the second copy of Chateau. If anyone that's experienced with MADOLCHE cards, can you sell Chateau to me? Because I don't really see why I really need it. Maybe in a different build it's more useful for types of decks where you want to keep on getting monsters back from your graveyard to your field, to your hand, sorry. But because most of my monsters are used for rank 4 plays, it never really activates that part of its effect. So I don't know. Anyway, Snatch Steal is going to grab Vampire Lord. Unfortunately, I can't go into a rank 4 or rank 3 summon because I have no more cards to special summon with. So let's steal Vampire Lord and see what we can do. This card here, Vampire Takeover, I think it allows you to activate Vampire Kingdom from your deck. So that's a thing. I don't think it's really going to stop me attacking this turn, but it's okay. It allows you to target 1 card in the field, send 1 Dark Vampire monster from your... whatever it does, it doesn't matter really. Okay, let's swing for some damage. Start with the weakest monster first. And let's go into Messenger Lotto, and then into Vampire Lord. But I may in the near future actually maybe try this out onto DevPro and see what it's like there. I do kind of want to get back into DevPro. I just I don't know what it is. It's just something about DevPro that I just doesn't really connect with me. But I do really want to start getting back into it, because I think looking back at my video history, people did seem to enjoy the few DevPro videos that I did put up, and yeah, we do DevPros in the week. I just there's just something about DevPro in general which kind of, I don't know, I just need to give it more of a chance. It just hasn't really warmed up to it yet. I chose Spell for Vampire Lord because I don't know why, to be honest with you. I could have called Trap, but it doesn't really bother me. As long as I didn't call Monster, then it's fine. Alright, over to Betting Holes to turn now. And let's see if he's got anything for us here. But I've got some really fun duels coming up later on in the week. We've got a subscriber showdown with MADOLCHE'S. It's just going to be a really good match. I think you guys are going to like that one. And the next video after this one is also an okay duel, and you get to see a couple of other things which I've learned with MADOLCHE'S, and the little things they can do. I think and Betting Ho surrenders. So good game to you, Betting Ho, and that's going to be it for today. I'll see you guys later.